Hi, welcome to Scoutbook. This will be a video on how to set up your unit for the first time in Scoutbook. Now, a lot of the setup we have already done for you. We have already populated Scoutbook with all of your registered leaders and all of your registered scouts. So you just need to log in and make sure people are in the right den or patrol to get started with your unit using Scoutbook. Now, when we set up your unit in Scoutbook, we gave administrator rights by default to the Cub Master or Scoutmaster or Venturing Crew Advisor or Sea Scout Skipper. We also gave rights to the committee chair or the chartered organization rep. So all of those people have rights to Scoutbook at the present time by default. If somebody else will be managing Scoutbook for your unit, then the first thing that has to happen is one of those people need to log in to Scoutbook and to give administrator rights to whoever is going to manage the Scoutbook presence. So that's the first thing we'll show you. We'll show you how to log in and how to give those rights to someone else to manage the system. So to log in, you would go to scoutbook.com. That's how do you get there? You get to scoutbook.com and you would click this login. When you log in, or you click login, you will get this login screen. You just put in your my.scouting.org credentials if you've never logged into Scoutbook before, and that will get you into Scoutbook. My.scouting.org is where you took youth protection training. If you forgot what your password is there, you can click on this password, forgot password link, and it'll send you a temporary password. And if you need login help, there's a button up here you can click. So you would log in with your my.scouting.org credentials, and you will get to this page here, which is what we call the default home page. Now, to get to your unit, you would click on My Dashboard, and you would make sure that this administration menu is open, and you would click down here to where your units are. They should all be listed that you are registered in, and you would click the unit that you want to manage. Now, again, you have to be, by default, if you've never logged in before, you're going to have to be one of those key three members, the committee chair or the unit leader or the chartered organization representative. You scroll down and you will see where it has a troop roster. You would click on the troop or pack roster and you will see all of your names, all of your adults and all of your scouts. If you are someone who would like to delegate the responsibility of managing Scoutbook to someone else in your unit, just scroll to that person's name. You can only do it to an adult. You can't delegate the authority to a youth. And click on the person's name, and then click on Add Position, which is over the lower right. You would click on that, and then give them the position of admin. It could be pack admin, troop admin, or crew admin or ship admin, and give it a beginning date. And so let's say today, and then say update. Now that gives them the rights now that they would be able to manage the system. Now if you found somebody who was there that you did not want to have manage, I'll show you in a minute here how you can take that away, that authority away from them. But initially you want to make sure that there's at least 3 people that have this authority in case somebody leaves, and that the right person has the rights to manage the unit. Okay, so after you've done that, the next thing you want to do is you want to make sure everybody is in the right den or patrol. So to do that, you can click up here on this bar. Let me show you a few things about this. This is a quick menu bar. So this house here is that home screen that we first went to. This is the dashboard that shows your unit, and then your unit number is normally also put up here when you're inside your unit. The menus on the left here, this is a quick navigation menu. This one here just goes back to the previous screen that you were in Scoutbook. If you click on your unit name, it'll bring you back to your unit page. And the very first thing it will list are your dens or patrols that are set up. So for a brand new unit that you've not used in Scoutbook before, this will be 0 because you have to set up your units, so your dens or patrols. So let me show you how to go about doing that. To set up a den or patrol, all you have to do is click on in the lower right where it says add den or patrol, and then put in a den or um, a den number or a den name or a patrol name. Now anything you put in is will have the word den or patrol tacked on the end. So realize that. So if I put in an example for a patrol name and I click add, it will add the example patrol to my troop, and it'll have scouts as 0 to it. So if I click on it, you'll see that there are 0 scouts in it and 0 leaders. So I don't have a den or a den leader or a patrol advisor, and I don't have any scouts in there. So how do I get the scouts in here? Well, to get the scouts into it is really easy. You click on where it says reassign scouts, and that means to reassign them from where they are now, which is not in a den or patrol, and assign them to this patrol or den. So if I click on that, I get a list of all of the scouts in the pack or the troop, and I can select the scouts that I would like to have moved in to the patrol. And then I would click on invite. And when I do that, the scouts will automatically be moved into this patrol or den. If they are already in another den or patrol, say a year down the road, and that you want to move them into this den or patrol, you just do the same thing. And it takes them out of the other den or patrol and it moves them into this den or patrol. And that's all there is to it. Now it does show a message at the bottom here and it says the word invite. It doesn't send an invite, so you can ignore this message box and simply click the invite. Nothing will be sent out. They're reusing the screen uh, that they're using somewhere else. Okay, so once we do that and we move them in, then they will be in the patrol. And when you click on the patrol name, it'll show the scouts that are in the patrol. So that will set up your patrols with your scouts. Now the next step you want to do is you want to make sure that your adults are in have the positions that they normally function in your troop or pack. So to do that, you would click on the troop pack roster, ship roster, uh, and you would then look at the adult's name. So let me show you when you're looking at this screen, what it is that you're seeing and what it means. So it has the adult's name in there, and underneath it, it has the position. When you first log in, it'll be the position they're registered in. So if they're registered as committee member, that is what will show up underneath their name. You see these little red things here with the two lines. These are, Scoutbook calls these keys, but they're indications if they have a administration privilege inside of Scoutbook. And if there are two lines here, that means that they have the unit administrator position that we have given them, or that the BSA has given them, or that you gave them. And they have full rights. They can do whatever they want in the system. Um, if they have one line, that means that they are a patrol um, administrator. That means they can administer, they can move scouts around, they can approve things inside the patrol, they can do things inside of the patrol, but just for one patrol. So let me show you, that would be like a den leader or a patrol advisor. So let me show you how to set up a den leader or patrol advisor. You would click on their name, and then you see this screen, and it'll show. In this example, I actually have somebody with past positions. Uh, you probably won't see that in if you are first logging in, because if you've never used Scoutbook before, they won't show past positions that the BSA has on record for them. They'll only show the past positions that Scoutbook sees. And then the current positions. This is what they are currently registered in for your unit. So if you would like to make them, the example here is I want to make this person a den leader. They may already be a den leader, but they are not associated with a patrol or a den yet. So you would go in and you can add a role or position, and you can do it in a troop. You would make them assistant scoutmaster. In a pack, you would make them a den leader, and then you would select the den or the patrol that they're going to be the um, patrol leader for, and so let's make him patrol leader for, or not patrol leader, but he's the patrol advisor for this Ghost Peppers patrol. He could be a den leader for the Ghost Peppers den, I guess, if there was a pack. And then you give him a name, a date, when it starts, and any optional notes that you want to put in there. The optional notes don't show up except in this administration screen in case you want to say something about this is temporary or whatever. And so now that position shows up here, and if you look at the roster for Gabriel, he now has Assistant Scoutmaster under his name. Now notice he does not have the single line, meaning he's an administrator for the patrol. He's just the assistant scoutmaster for that patrol. What does that mean? Well, a den leader or an assistant scoutmaster who is assigned to a patrol, or a den leader to a den, that means that they can approve advancements for their scouts in their den or patrol. Let's talk about approval just for a minute here. In Scoutbook, we have the concept of approving advancements. Approving an advancement can only be done by a leader. It has to be a leader that you have made a leader or is a registered leader in the pack or troop or your unit in general. And no parents, just by their parent role, would be able to approve an advancement, and of course, no scouts can approve an advancement. Approving an advancement is signing off on the advancement. So only somebody who is approved, like a den leader or an administrator, anybody with the administrator button, can can approve advancements in that unit. Now, if you want the person to have more rights than just approving advancements in the den, let's say you also want them to be able to go in there and change phone numbers and also change addresses or some other stuff for the scouts, you can give them rights just for that patrol. So, for example, Gabriel here, I can go in and say, okay, I want to make him a patrol ad, administrator to be able to change contact information and other things for that patrol. I don't want him to touch anybody else's patrol, but I'll give him rights to do that for that patrol. As an assistant scoutmaster assigned to the patrol, he can approve advancements, but I want him to be able to do a little bit more. So I can make him a patrol or den administrator, and I can back to the Ghost Patrol, and I can start him on a date there as well. So if you want your den leaders to have the control to be able to modify contact information and other things other than just approving advancements, then you can make them an administrator, and that gives them kind of carte blanche for that patrol, but just for that patrol and not for anyone else. Okay, so that's how that works. If you look at the roster, you can actually see what that looks like. Now we have a guide where our user guides are that talk about these roles and responsibilities and what they do. But this is the simple stuff that I'm giving you, and if you keep it simple, you're not going to get in a lot of trouble. All right. Now one thing you may want to do is you may want to go in and remove a administrative rights from a adult that uh, will not be managing the system. So to do that, you would select the adult, go down to where it says troop current positions, troop administrator, and you would select that. And all you have to do to remove that from the adult is to select an end date. So just give them an end date, get rid of where it says position approved, check that mark, and click update. And that will remove administrator rights from an adult. Check that your leaders' positions are approved. In other words, that they have this green check mark next to their position. For example, here, Carl does not have his committee chair position approved. So he's not going to be able to utilize all of the permissions that are attributed to that position. So to approve it, click on his name, click on the position, check this box that says position approved, and click update. Now his position will have the green check mark next to his name, and he will be able to have the permissions inside of Scoutbook attributed to that position. Do that for each one of your leaders. Sometimes you will see the green check mark because one of the positions is approved, but another one may not be approved. In this case, for this leader, Patrol Administrator is approved, but Assistant Scoutmaster is not. So go in and click on Assistant Scoutmaster and click on Position Approved. You only have to do that double check if they have more than one position. Now, where can you find user guides? If you're looking for user guides, where you want to go is you want to open up a new tab and then just go to bit.ly scoutbook, all lowercase, and that will bring up a screen of user guides. And there's a getting started section and setting up Scoutbook section. And they split up these user guides so that if you're only interested in one topic, you can find that one topic rather than giving you a big manual. So that's where the user guides are. Again, it's bit.ly/Scoutbook to find more user guides than what I'm going to talk about in the video. Okay, so you've done that. Your uh, your scouts are in the unit, and they are set up. And when you log in for the first time, what you'll see is you will see the scouts. You will see their ranks underneath them. That's the currently earned rank that is on record at the BSA. All of them will have this green check mark, a link, and A with a circle around it. Now the A with a circle around it means that they are in advancement sync. Anything that you approve for that scout will be approved. It'll be recorded so that your council sees it. That's what that means. Okay. You will have moved them then into their appropriate den or patrol. So the next step is, okay, I've done that. Now how can I approve? I'll walk you through a couple of simple things from here, and we do have other videos that talk about more in-depth stuff. But if all you want to do is approve an advancement for somebody, you click on their name, and you can click on advancement. And then if they're working on something, of course, my example that I picked here has a lot of stuff because he's already up to Eagle. But if you wanted to say, okay, he did do this, you would click on it, and then you would give it a date completed. All right, and that would give him the advancement. Now notice the reason why we're talking about how do you approve it, and then you can click save. Now the very first thing that he will show here is, if I don't click this box here, is it shows as a green check mark. And the green check mark means that somebody thinks he completed that requirement. Could be the parent, could be the scout, could be somebody else in your pack or troop. But it's not been signed off. Only a leader can sign it off. Well, how does a leader sign off? And since you're an admin, you have full rights, so you can sign off. Well, signing off is checking this box where it says leader approved. And then you click save, and that makes a blue check mark, which we call approved, and now it's signed off. So that when you sign off on a rank or an award, that gets recorded at your council. I wanted to show you that because the next step you want to do is you want to give parents, you want to associate parents with the scout. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to show you is how do you assign a parent to a scout. So you go back to the roster, you click on your troop, and then you click on troop roster or pack roster. And then you would click on the scout. You'll see that the scout name comes up and that there's a note here about parents, and it says there are none associated with him, so add a parent. So you would click on the parent. Now if the parent was also a leader in the troop or pack, all of the leaders will show up, and you can click on a leader and make them a parent this way. If they are not in this list, and most of the time they won't be, if they have a account on Scoutbook already, because they were in a pack that used Scoutbook or something else, you can find them, and or you can create them new if they've never been into Scoutbook before. So to do that, and they don't have to be registered for you to make this happen. So you click on Add, and this is where you search. You can search for them by email address, or you can search for them by name. You would just type in their name or email address if that adult has already used Scoutbook before, and it'll do a search and find them. If the And I advise doing it by email address, because if their name is like John Smith, you may come up with a lot of John Smiths and not find the proper one. If they have never used Scoutbook before, then you can add them. So you would just add their information here and mark it as parent or guardian, and then write something. They put a default thing in here, but you can write your own words here and click invite, and it'll invite them to be a parent. It'll send them an email and give them a login to Scoutbook, and when they log in, they'll see their parent. We have some guides out there on that bit.ly/Scoutbook for parents. There's a parent guide there for them to use. Now, something that we get questions about all the time, and I wanted to show you, is that notice that when we clicked on parent guardian, all of these rights went turned on, and that's because a parent gets full control, what we call full parental control of their child. If they have to move them to another unit or something, they can, because we've given them the ability to do that. They do not, even though this, notice it says view advancement and edit advancement. Even though they have edit advancement rights, they do not have the right to sign somebody off on a requirement be, just by being a parent. The only thing that they won't even see that checkbox that says approved. Uh, all they'll see is a way of putting in a date to mark an item completed, that green check mark that I showed you earlier. They will not be able to approve unless they are also a leader, that you've made them a leader in your unit. And I wanted to show you that. You would click invite, it would send them an email, and that's how you add parents. So after you've added parents, and after you've moved all of your scouts into their dens or patrols, you're ready to go. Your troop is ready to go, or your pack is ready to go. Your den leaders can log in and start recording the advancements that they need, and your troop um, and your parents could log in and monitor their scouts because you've invited them. So that's how you set it up. That's all there is to setting it up. If you go to our site, we do have videos on how to produce the report that you need for the Scout Shop and how to do other things. And there's user guides there on how to do other things, other types of management things and recording for your advancements. Uh, that's how all there is to initially setting up your unit and getting started in using Scoutbook. The other thing I'd like to show you before I end the video is where you can get more help. So we did show you that there was a user guide here. If you type bit.ly slash Scoutbook, and I'll get rid of a couple of these banner messages. So if the system is happening, something's happening in the system, they put up these banner messages for you. So this is where you find the user guides and the help. If there's something that is not here that you are wondering, well, how do I do this or how do I do that? From this page, if you click on this little man, it'll bring you to the forums homepage. From your homepage, if you click on forums, it brings the forums up. And you can, if you have a question about using Scoutbook, you just click on this and enter your question there. Within half a day, you will receive a reply. When you receive the reply, look for this little symbol. Here's a blown up version of it. This little symbol underneath the person's image when they reply. That means that your reply is coming from the Scoutbook User Advisory Council. These are experts in Scoutbook, and so what they say and tell you is probably going to be very, very accurate. So rely on what they say. Um, so that's what our forums are like, and you can use those forums to ask questions and get more help. So, given that information to you, I hope this is enough to at least get you started. And welcome to the Scoutbook community, and we hope that you enjoy your experience with Scoutbook.